Good afternoon. I'm Herbert Burnett, and this is Sean Williams, and we are here in the stead of Bishop King James Underwood and Reverend Dr. Underwood, and this is another episode of On the Rock. Upon this rock, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Yeah. Sean, we just taped your show, and now we're sitting in for my mom and dad. Yeah. What say ye?
What you say?
What say ye?
Oh, well, what say me is I appreciate it. Thank the Lord for your mom, your dad. Thank the Lord for you giving me an opportunity to be on the show. I really appreciate it. So I'm just honored to be here, and I'm gonna let you roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna follow the lead.
Okay. So I'm really gonna let you roll.
I'm still pumped.
Yeah. We talked like two or three times after that funeral. Yeah. And I just believe, and we're talking about the 14-year-old. You said he was the youngest of gun violence.
Youngest gun violence victim.
And so let's continue to pray for Elijah James Booker family. His dad's from Louisville. Yeah. Let's continue. But you was emotional wreck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I talked to you 2 or 3 times. Now, I didn't talk to you the day of the funeral because I was in Texas for a graduation, and you had a day that started off at 6 a.m. But what I really want to do, we talked in the shop a little bit, and I just want to, when you were talking, I just applied the scripture to it. Yeah. And so if you would be so kind to just...
And read the scripture.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things about it, Brother Hub, man, I mean, I was talking to Patricia Avery on the phone yesterday, and as I spoke to her, at least 2 or 3 times during our conversation, I got choked up because I could see the young folks. I could see the people that I was dealing with, that population of folk, and so I could understand the problems, and we're gonna get into it.
Yes, sir.
About the problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so the scripture that you wanted me to read is Revelations 4:1, and in Revelations 4:1, this is the New International Version. After this, I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven. And then the voice I had first heard speak to me like a trumpet said, come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this.
Man, and that was John the Revelator. That's Revelations 4:1. John Revelator was on the island of Patmos. And so Sean was talking yesterday about the lack of the ability to be able to see what's going on. And so that pricking me to hit that scripture, because what happened, God said, John, Revelations 2 and 3, he told him about the 7 churches. He told him about the past. He even told him about the present. But in what you just read, he said, wait a minute, before I give you the revelation of the future, I'm going to need you to come up because you can't see it from where you are. So we're gonna entitle this segment, You Can't See It From Where You Are. You got to come up higher. And this is what we were going back and forth in the shop. And even Ethan, before you got here, I was sharing with Ethan, we could see that room in there, the chambers. We can even see if that wall wasn't there, the guy that works in the back. But if we was on top of the building, we could see.
That's why drones are so important now.
Yeah.
Because it's easier access.
Yeah.
They can see the whole terrain.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Drones are very important.
Yeah.
And you got to come up. It's taking you up a little higher.
Yeah.
That's why going up a little higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we captured on that, and when we're talking about not being able to see, because we're talking about whether if you're a leader, whether if you're a parent, whether you you're and we say leadership, maybe an organization, maybe you're elected official, or whatever the case might be, leadership. You know, in charge of something, in charge of somebody's, you know, giving them advice, and it's hard. You giving somebody something and you can't see, and so we're talking about that. And I got so many different thoughts.
The guy at the whip trying to preach to the kids, and his window was broke out.
Oh yeah, man, get out of here, man, get out of here. You know, you got you know, I was listening to a few of these guys talk and some preaching, and I heard one of them say, man, you know, you got folks out here that's calling themselves leadership, telling people how to deal their lives and do stuff, man, and you owe everybody in town, and you ain't accomplished anything successful in your life. Your marriage, I was listening to Miles Monroe. He talking about you getting advice about marriage from somebody that's been divorced 15 times. Can't even hold a basic relationship together.
Right.
A basic relationship. You know, but then you're gonna mirror your relationship after somebody can't hold a basic. But you in charge. And just because you threw in a position don't mean that you a strong leader or you a manager. You know, and the hardest thing, even dealing with these young men on this funeral, the hardest thing for men to do is tell another man they need help. And just say, man, I need some help. Bring somebody on your team. We intimidate to bring somebody on the team, especially when they can see what you can't see.
Adam said, God asked Adam, where art thou? Adam said, I was naked and ashamed, so I hid myself. See what I'm saying? And so Adam set us up for lack of communication. You know, he set us up, man. Yeah. And so a lot of people scared to ask for help.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be willing to ask for some help. You know, a frustrating thing for me, and we talked about it the last segment, was the lack of response by the African American leaders in the African American church about one of the city's heightened problems that's going on within our communities is gun violence. But we was a no-show. We didn't call the family. Nobody reached out to me. But the Caucasian community, the white community, they came forth. They called me on the phone. They wanted to know how the family was doing. What can they do to help? They put their money where their mouth was at. They paid for the funeral. You know, but we gave nothing from the African American community and that.
Now, I'm going to throw a brick, and this wasn't planned, but I really want you to, and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Do you think if it would have been Leaks or Owens Funeral Home, they would have treated them the same way? Do you think? I don't know. I don't know the answer I'm asking. But what's in my spirit is, oh, it's Sean. Sean, they don't want to help you, per se. Do you think that's what it is, or is they just sleep totally?
You know,
because I got some people who only come to me if it's the last resort.
You know, I don't want to call anybody out by name, you know, and other homes out by name, you know, and those folk doing a good job in the element that they're doing in. But the folks that's the leaders.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the funeral homes. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying the people.
Right, the folks that's the leaders.
Yeah.
Oh man, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Man. You know, I mean, we supposed to be on the same team.
Right.
But you block him a shot.
Well, you shining.
And so
you shining. You got one of you just got a award, and we gonna keep it. This ain't let the truth be told, but it's gonna be told on here, cause up on this rock, Jesus said. See, Peter said. Jesus said, Peter, who do you say I am? Peter said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. When he said that, Jesus got pumped and said, up on this rock. In other words, Peter was a rock. Up on what you just said. Upon what you just said, I'm placing it all on that. And so my thing is, and I don't forgot my thought now.
No, you was talking about that award.
Yeah, and so you just got an award that only Miss America and Robert Mock, who went to school with us, who's a college president now. I don't know if he was college president then. I think he was assistant at Kentucky, assistant chancellor. And then you. Only 3 African Americans done got that award, man. And you know what, man? Some folks they don't mind you shining. They just don't want you to outshine them. And who are you? You know, we're this and we're that, and I got this and I got that. But see, God looked past all them, Don't have me go into the story of Moses. When he said when they said the next king gonna be one of Jesse's kings, and Jesse brung all his kids but old ruddy Moses. Moses was tending to the sheep. And he tested that, boy, I feel my help coming on. He tested every one. He said, now, Jesse, are you sure you don't got no more sons? Oh, I got one more son. He in there with the sheep dung. Oh, Sean Williams. And they said, that's the one. See, everybody can't handle that. Hey, listen, the mayor just told us to come quiet down.
Hey.
The mayor did. We really got hype.
Yeah,
but
don't
I
worry
feel
about
my
it.
help coming
Don't
on.
worry about it.
But
Keep rolling.
that's what it amounts to.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it amounts to. And so that's why I asked that question, because it was in my spirit. Well, why wouldn't they want to help?
Right.
Man, this is a time, you know, these guys, they rallied around you.
Yeah.
First Christian, Stone Creek, Vineyard, Bridge Church, West Henderson.
See, that's why we say they can't see. Because straight biblical, what your teaching is. I've been going to church all my life.
Boy, the devil don't like this. He sent the mayor to quiet us down.
All my life. Y'all might have to reschedule over there.
Right.
What we talking about is more relevant.
Right.
So one thing about it is that they can't see. In order for you to get your blessing, you got to bless me. And it's a two-way street. So I gotta be, when I'm trying to help these folk and do this and this and this and that, you know where I'm coming from. You already know you already know how I'm rolling. I'm gonna do the best and this and this and this, and they don't want to see you do best. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's hurting our whole community. And even the young folks, they feeling the wrath of what the old folk is doing. And leadership and culture. Our culture been based to do that. You know, to hate on each other. Don't want to see nobody else get nothing. Start bad mouthing and this and this and that, tearing somebody else up in the community. That's the reason why our young folks are doing what they doing out here on the streets. Every little bit of something, we take a life for a little bit of something. Ain't that something, man?
And so what we have to do,
go on, speak up, man.
what does now I won't be respectful.
No, but you gotta hear. They gotta hear you.
What you know, Jesus said, "Come up hither."
Yes.
Come up, because you can't see it from where you are.
Yes.
So in the physical realm, what does that look like? What
does that look like?
What does come up higher consist of?
So coming up a little bit higher, and this is the views and opinions of Sean. I think what the problem is what folks used to say. You can't see the forest for the one tree. Okay? And so in every situation, we looking physically at what it is, but it's always something around the corner. It's a bigger dynamics. So, and I'll give you a prime example. Something happens to you, whatever it is, and you start addressing just that little bit, whatever the problem is right there, without thinking about the bigger picture. Somebody on the job came up and said something crazy to you. You go all off the handle off of what they said crazy to you, and you don't think about the bigger picture. You lose your whole job. Now you sitting back like, oh man, I know good and well. Now the mortgage due, car note due, kids need stuff, this, that, and the other. You're scared to tell your wife you lost your job. All over something small, cause what somebody said. Instead of thinking about the bigger picture. Or you an official. You make some type of policy, or you make some type of law in place, and it affected. It could be about gun violence, but it affected. You thought it was going to affect maybe teenagers. Next thing you know, that policy, that law, affected millions and millions of grown folk and teenagers. It's a bigger picture. So always you got to look at it, and that's why I always say, prayer, research, put some other folk on team, go check the pulse of the people, especially when you're in leadership. See what they want and stop going on what you think. Sometimes it might be against what you really think for the bigger goal. It ain't always about you.
You know, my dad, ever since I've been going to this church 20-something years, he don't even pass the offering tray around. He got a little box that you drop in on your way in or your way out. He ain't looking, you know, of course they write everybody on the book, so they still know what's going on. But it's more on an honor system, man. And when I tell you, man, they blessed, man, you know, blessed, I mean, everything paid for. On land all around the church, you know what I'm saying? And so, sometimes I think some of these leaders don't believe what they say they believe, because they real quick to say the more you give, the more you receive.
And they run around, and some of them run around one shoe on, one shoe off. Because kids visual, man. Kids visual. They don't come talking to me, man, if you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? If your life is raggedy, you know what I'm saying? They straightforward folk.
That happened at the whip with that one.
They straightforward folk, man. I mean, they keep it 100 right across the board, man. I mean, and because I'm just keeping it 100, this is just how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I become relevant to them folk because I tell everybody my dreams. I tell everybody what I'm finna do. And so my young folk, when I was in the barbershop and I said, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'm going to do this, they already knew it.
Yeah. I had the privilege of going with you with the Goal Getters. Yeah. And I think it was the Goal Getters, or it might have been the summer group. Yeah. But it might have been both groups. But we went out to the house.
Yeah. And I was telling about I mean, I want to get this here car, man. I've been talking about it for 25 years. So yesterday I'm over at my buddy Tom Howe's house before we went out to Darren's thing, and I was sitting on the porch, and young guy rolled by. He said, Sean, that's you, Sean. Tom said, man, you know him? No, I don't know him. But love conquers everything.
Yeah, multitude.
Conquers everything. Now, could I get my stuff and think I'm such a much? Because it ain't mine, it's God's. God gave it to me. He blessed me. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, in order to share, so I know how to share. And so I shared that space with him, and even at my buddy's house, and I showed him an illustration of what God would want us to do. So he's a physical witness. So it's like one of the Damascus Road experiences.
Exactly.
And so, and what happened is that he seen it. The young man jumped out of his car, and I said, man, he said, man, that's nice, man. He said, Sean, he said, man, I'm telling you. And I loved on him, hugged on him, because it's really hard for men to hug young
each
men.
other. That's right.
So I wanted to show that illustration too, man. Embraced him with love. Big old young dude. And so then he said, man, I wanted to, man, you know what? I seen that car, and you know, I want to do a video. And I thought it was some Asians or something that had the car. And I seen it by my job. He said, man, but it's yours. I said, no, it's ours.
It's ours.
It's ours. You want to do a video? Man, get my card, man. Here, call me. Yeah. Because it's ours.
Yeah. Inclusion.
You got to include folk.
Wraparound is my new word, hanging out.
You got to include folk, man. You got to make them, you can't be the only one feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I remember I went to do a funeral one day, and I pulled up. It ain't wasn't that many parking spaces at the church anyway. You know what I'm saying? But man, one of the preachers clowned about his parking space. Man, I was parked in this. Look, man, move your car right now, because that's the pastor's parking space. Didn't you see it said pastor's parking space? Like I was, man, straight off a cabbage truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this dude don't even get it, man.
We have to
Buffalo in this congregation like that, man.
We have to get out the huddle and bring God outside the church. And in order to do that, I preached a sermon out of your position and into your purpose. And my subtopic was, I asked the question, is there enough food in your cabinet? And food in this setting meant your staff. Is there enough substance? What kind of substance do you got on your team? What kind of team do you have? You got to have a team where when you ain't there, they there. And it's just like you being there. You know, you got to be able to delegate. See, these are all leadership traits we learned with good old Uncle Sam. You got accountability. Yeah, you know, you got to be able to. You got authority. You know, you can't. You can delegate your authority, but you still accountable.
Man, you had me, when I thought about that, you done had me relive a moment. I'm still stuck there, because I'm thinking about this dude, and I'm thinking about, because to me, it's just a dude. that just then got off on his authority.
Yeah.
And that's what he flaunting around the people. And the people looking like they can't get to God unless they go through him.
Yeah.
Instead of him building them up, where even if I ain't here, you know exactly who to go to. Even if I ain't here. But so all he is a good manager. No leader. He's a good manager. He might not even be a good manager if we get to internally looking through his stuff. Might not even be a good manager. And you are a direct image of who's your leader.
That's right.
You're a direct reflection of
both
that.
ways.
You're a direct reflection.
Both ways.
So if you getting beat up on at church, you getting beat up at the house, you not learning something you supposed to learn, you're a direct reflection of that. That's why when I read this scripture off in the last segment, and it says in Matthew chapter 15, verse 14 said, leave them.
Leave them. See, we don't mention that part.
We never mention that part. I mean, and I've been in church all my life listening to all kinds of sermons, and if you didn't listen to 5,000 sermons and your life ain't changed, then leave them. Because what it says, if the blind leadeth the blind, then they both will fall in a ditch. And it's so many people following the blind. What you call it is a parked car.
Yeah.
And so what our spaces are looking like right now, we looking like Shields Auto. We looking like Shields Auto. We looking like Miles Chevrolet. We looking like Warden Martin. When you go out there and you just see all these
parked cars.
all these parked cars with all this gift.
That's powerful.
With all this gift.
powerful.
They pregnant inside with a
That's
gift.
powerful.
I mean, you pregnant inside. You've been toting a baby a gift of yours for 50 years. But because you following a parked car, that really supposed to say, let's have your baby today. Teach you how to have that baby.
No matter how high you jump, you can't get no higher than your head.
Because you've been following the parked car, man.
It's heavy, man.
And our community been following parked cars, man. You ain't taking nobody nowhere because you ain't got a vision. And a lot of them doing it strategically.
Keep them dummy down.
Keep your dumb down. Long as they don't know no better.
Keep you sweating.
Long as you don't know no better.
Keep you jumping and cheering around.
You wonder why your stuff all messed up. Well, they know why your stuff messed up because they don't want you to know nothing else.
Yeah, that's tough.
And you with somebody
that's tough for you to, and I know you're not saying everybody, but that's tough for somebody who call themselves a man or woman of God.
I'm calling it the way I see it, man. I'm calling it the way I see it. And I'm calling it the way I see it because I'm telling you the truth, man. I told this man, I promised him. I said, man, your son's life ain't going to go in vain. I gave my word. It ain't finna go in vain when I shine. We is not on my watch. So when First Christian Church, Stone Creek Church, Vineyard Church, the Bridge Church, West Henderson, Grace Lutheran Church, and the man and the pastor at Bridge Church came to the funeral and said, you know, I got a lot to do this morning, but I could not sleep if I didn't come over here and share some love with that family.
And guess what they do? They go right back to their church and say, we were able to be a blessing. And guess what they people gonna do?
Chunk out some more. And you wonder why they being blessed. Because they chunking out some more. Here we is having service after service to have another service after another service. And we parked. We parked.
Can you believe in 2019 we still got $100 lines?
That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. When we got folks out here starving to death, we got legislatures that we got to deal with. All these different laws and policies. We got folks dying in neighborhoods, man.
I need 20 people to give me $80 a piece. And God done told one person to donate $1 billion. And they put their checkbook back in and give you the 80 you asked for.
You know what? I was just
help us, Lord.
I was just telling my girl, small thinking. Small thinking. I didn't know all this stuff back in the day, but I knew something was impregnated in me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm like you.
Yeah.
I let it come out.
Yeah.
So me and Miel, we going to Piccadilly's.
Yeah.
100. Keep it 100 across the board, even with yourself.
Yeah.
So we going to Piccadilly's one day. I know we going to buy all this alcohol, man, and Piccadilly's, you done took over Fort Most, and you everywhere.
Everywhere.
And so I said, I tell Jack Truck, so I said, hey,
He's
Jack.
the owner?
He's the owner. All the Piccadilly's. And all the black folks going, we ain't even got our own liquor store for the stuff that we buy the most. So I tell Jack, I said, man, look, all this liquor we buying from you, man, why don't you sponsor something? Why don't you sponsor this basketball tournament I'm throwing? And he said, well, Sean, how much money you need? I said, well, I need to pay the rest. I need to get some food, some T-shirts. I always buy a new net, about $800. He said, Sean, that's not enough money. That's not enough money. It's not big enough. And as I thought about that over the years, this was the early 90s. I should have been coming to him and saying, you know what, man, I need $25,000 to be donated to the Champaign-Urbana Day Ball in the Hood basketball tournament. They wrote the check. But my mindset was so small. And we do that, but we've been trained culturally that. Stop asking me for stuff. Mama tell you that. Stop getting away from me always begging. Stop asking. So when we get something, when we go get that car at the car lot, it's almost like head down. Old slave mentality, head down. And we just get, hey, he gave me an old car.
I got blessed, 32% interest.
Man, empower your people, man.
Yeah, empower your people.
Empower your people,
Empower
man.
your people. Empower your people.
Empower your people, man.
Yeah. I told you the other day, I said, man, you got to take them somewhere. Just like taking kids to a Cubs game, White Sox. Just like taking LDA to Game 4, LeBron against Pacers. Take them somewhere, man.
Empower them shorties.
Take them somewhere. Whoa, I'm used to just seeing Rantoul, Champaign-Urbana. I mean, 20, 22, 24, very few of them have been in a Major League Baseball game.
Wow.
And we didn't get, and one of my partners said, you know, when we do take them, we take them to the free games. We went to the Cubs-Cardinal games. Cubs won a game and put them in first place.
Man.
The kids had a blast.
Let me tell you something, man. You know how good you feel when you can go to a 5-star restaurant or a 5-star something and you can pay the bill and you ain't stressed out about how you finna live afterwards. And you know you ain't got to look over your shoulder. Hey, and so they been checking us out up in another room. And you know you ain't ashamed. You know, because you done did something crooked or something to get this here. You know, that's where God meant it for us to be and be living, man. And so every leaders, if you are not building up people to be leaders because you afraid that they finna take over your leadership, you a parked car.
You know what?
And you building parked cars.
I want to say this. Rest in peace, Pastor Holcomb. I ran into him in '87 in Fort Bliss, Texas, Coppers Cove, Fort Hood, Texas, and he was saying he had this confession of faith. And the day I take over church, the day I start church, the day I take over as a church, I'm gonna do a confession of faith. And he was saying every seat is full in every service. And everybody was saying it. When I left there in the late 80s, he had about 500. The next time I saw him in the middle 90s, he had about 14,000. He just died late last year, and he had probably 30 grand. But here's the thing. But he had 20 ministers in Germany, all over. You ain't gonna sit up under me for no 15 to 20 years. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm training you to go out and do your own.
To do exactly what our mandate was.
Yes, sir.
It's to go.
Yes.
It's to go.
Sir.
So,
yes. So this is thank Sean Williams for being on the Rock. Thank my mom and dad, Bishop King James Underwood.
Appreciate it.
And Reverend Dr. Underwood. I know y'all gonna watch the show 19 times and tell us what we didn't do.
Thank you very much. I really
but we appreciate you. We appreciate our listening artists. Pray for my mom and dad. They're getting up in age, but my Bishop Underwood say, I'd rather wear out than rust out.
I know that.
Thank you for another episode of On the Rock.
Peace.